Summer is here, so it's time to hit the water. Why not cruise around on a stand-up paddleboard designed right here in the Sea to Sky corridor? If you want something a little more wet and wild, we're going whale watching. And forget about your backyard garden. There's plenty of edible plants right here in the great outdoors. We've got food, arts, and culture. It's all local, and it's all on this episode of Go Sea to Sky. Welcome to Go Sea to Sky, only on Shaw TV. I'm your host, Heather Butts, hanging out by the inviting waters of Lost Lake. Yes, summer is here, and if you want to get out and enjoy the lakes and rivers that surround you, our next story is for you. We're kicking off the show in Squamish, home of Beaver Boards. These Canadian-designed stand-up paddle boards have been on the market for a few years, and they're sold right across the country. And the story behind them is truly Canadian.
It's just a completely different view on the water. You're standing up nice and tall, and you're getting to look around, and it's just a feeling like you're walking on the water.
That magical feeling is enhanced when you're paddling on a board you designed.
There's something about making something yourself, that feeling of fixing something or making something yourself and using it. But when I'm out there paddling on my own board, it makes you feel invincible, like there's nothing in the world you can't do.
Jeff Levine's story doesn't really start on the water, rather here in his backyard, where he spent endless hours fixing damaged rental boards used at his Sea to Sky adventure company.
Problem with these paddle boards was they'd always come back constantly dinged up, holes in them, and they just didn't withstand the rental business, you know, unloading out of the cars, putting them onto hard, rocky beaches.
After a summer of fixing boards, this entrepreneur took his frustration indoors. He spent endless hours doing research and hundreds of hours teaching himself how to design a board geared for Canada.
We have cold water. People don't want to be in the water all the time on the boards. We have a rocky shore, so you need a durable board. And so to me, when we were designing the boards, that was a Canadian challenge.
After a winter of designing, he was able to come up with a board durable enough to withstand the rental business and stable enough to encourage high success rates.
I designed the board, so I decreased the angle of the nose rocker and tail rocker, made it 33.5 inches wide, and made it 5 inches thick. So by making it wider and thicker, I've increased the surface volume. By increasing the surface volume, it increases the maximum user weight.
The design complete, Levine found an ethical family-owned factory in China where his board would be produced using 3 layers of 6-ounce fiberglass and bamboo veneer.
It's absolutely surreal. All this time and energy going into designing these boards, and now seeing all the boards being made and being part of that, it was an incredible feeling.
Satisfied with the product, coming up with a name was the easiest part of the process.
I wanted to have a really hip Hawaiian, Californian style name, and talking to my 12-year-old nephew, he said, "Uncle Jeff, don't bother with that stuff, just use a Canadian name, because why don't you call it the Beaver Boards?" And that was it. From that point in time, I didn't think again, that was the name.
Just 4 years after creating his first design, Beaver Boards now offers a variety of shapes and sizes, from 7-foot boards for kids to 11-foot cruisers, as well as an inflatable board for easy transport. And he's recently designed the company's first kiteboard. What started as a small project to create boards for his rental company, they're now offered in Canadian Tire stores across the country.
Who would have ever thought in such a short time I went from being this guy who was just simply renting out a stand-up paddleboard now to a company making stand-up paddleboards. It's just amazing.
That remarkable feeling is what he wants everyone to experience when they head out on the water and explore on a stand-up paddleboard. Beaver boards are designed for instant success. They even come with a carrying case and an adjustable carbon fiber paddle. Perhaps you could even throw your iPod in a waterproof case and paddle to the sweet sounds of Jocelyn Pettit. That's who we're featuring on this week's Go Listen. She's toured from Scotland to Malaysia with her Celtic act, and today she's sharing her sweet sounds with us.
I'm Jocelyn Pettit, and I'm a fiddle player, step dancer, and singer and composer. I play Celtic folk music with my band, and we love to travel, share our music, and perform as much as possible.
Jocelyn started with step dancing and the fiddle at only 8 years old. Since then, she's stuck with it, released an album, and now tours worldwide.
We play Celtic folk music, which is based on the traditional music from across Canada, so Cape Breton and Quebec, as well as over in Scotland and Ireland, Brittany, France, Galicia, Spain, and then as well as original music, which I'm doing more and more of, composing, writing my own stuff.
Yeah, you play a very traditional style of music, as you said, but your music's evolving as you go. Are you exploring sort of new twists to what you're doing?
I am, yes. I'm getting more and more into composing, so I've learned a lot about the traditional music over the years, learning from different musicians, just learning through my travels. What I do is I try to use a similar structure with my tunes, so with the ornamentation, the phrasing, accents. And I've also been exploring more and more with different ways to incorporate technology, some looping and different effects.
With your music, when you get to dance as well, does it sort of allow you more expression within shows especially?
I really enjoy dancing. All this music is based on dance rhythms, and it's really great to be able to incorporate that into the shows and just go into those roots of the dance origins.
So it's been 5 years since your last record was recorded. Is there a new recording in the works for you?
There is. It's been in the works for a number of years. It's been evolving over time with different styles as I write more and more original material. And I'm really excited about it. Hopefully it'll be released to the world soon.
To keep track of when that new record will be released, like her page, facebook.com/Jocelyn Pettit Band. At St. James Hall, I'm Paul McClellan for Shaw TV.
To hear more of her sweet sounds, visit jocelynpettit.com. She'll also be performing on Pender Island at the end of June and in Coquitlam on July 1st. Well, if you'd like to see this story and many of our other feature stories once more, or perhaps even a full show you may have missed, everything is available for you online in HD. Just visit youtube.com/WhistlerShaw. Go see the sky, we're your local voice. Coming up,
my work stays between art and design.
renowned Brazilian artist Hugo França creates sculptures for all of Squamish to enjoy.
The following are proud supporters of community programming on Shaw TV.
Hairstyling and color services for Heather Butts are provided by The Loft Salon. TheLoftSalon.com.
Join Shaw TV on June 21st for National Aboriginal Day, a day to celebrate the culture and accomplishments of First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples. We'll also take a look at the findings of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission in a half-hour special. That's June 21st, all day on Shaw TV.
Shaw TV is proud to present the Ronald McDonald House Weekend. The new Ronald McDonald House will be a home away from home for up to 73 families, while kids from around the province receive life-saving treatment at BC Children's Hospital. Be the first on the floor as we get an exclusive look inside the new house, meet some of the families whose lives have been touched by this place, and hear stories of the people behind the scenes who really make the difference. Watch Shaw TV June 13th to the 15th for the Shaw TV Ronald McDonald House Weekend.
Welcome back to Go See the Sky, only on Shaw TV. I'm your host, Heather Butts, enjoying the beauty that is Lost Lake just outside of Whistler Village. It's time for this week's episode of Big Summer, where we view one destination hotspot for you to enjoy. I hope you have your sea legs because we're heading out on the water. The ocean around Vancouver Island is one of the best places to view orcas in the world. So going whale watching is a must-do when you head to the island.
Today, we're going whale watching. I'm going to draw them in with some good old fish food, or orca food, as we call it. Come on. Guys, maybe we should get a boat. I am here to see some orcas. What is your guarantee that I will definitely see orcas today?
Well, with any wildlife, we can't guarantee we're going to see orcas on every single trip. But the orcas do use this area as their feeding grounds from spring until fall, so this is actually considered the best place in the world to see orcas. So do our best to go find them today.
Okay, I'm so excited. Can we go now? Boat's here, let's go?
First things first, safety is of utmost importance. So what we're going to do is get you all suited up in our immersion suits, which are your life jacket. And once we have those all completed and zipped up, then we're ready to hit the boat.
Let's suit up.
Do it.
After a very blustery trip where we made it all the way out here to Race Rocks, it was fun. I've got some salt in my hair.
New hairdo.
New hairdo. I like it. And we've got some new friends just hanging out beside us. Can you tell us what we got?
Yeah, we have a group of male stellar sea lions. So they are the largest type of sea lion we have out here.
So how long do these guys spend out here?
We will see the sea lions here most of the year, except for when they're breeding in about June and July. They head north and they go and see the females, and they're right back here for the rest of the year.
So that was super exciting. We just saw 3 killer whales. How long do you think they'll be in the area?
With transients, it's really hard to say. They have a diet where they're eating seals, sea lions, porpoises, so we can see transients anywhere from a couple hours to have them stick around for several days.
So you feed orcas like horses, right? Like with your palm open?
Just like that.
For Shaw TV's Big Summer in Victoria, British Columbia, I'm Meg Cuthbert.
Well, that is certainly a sight to see, but perhaps water isn't your thing. You'd rather spend your summer days with a good book or enjoying an outdoor picnic. And if you're in Squamish, there's a spot just for you. The corner of Cleveland and Buckley has been redesigned by a Brazilian sculpture just for you. Loud, rumbling chainsaws work diligently around a fallen red cedar. A new use for the tool, it's not damaging a living tree, but creating a sculpture, giving the discarded material a second lease on life.
faço trabalho que fica, na verdade, na
My work stays between art and design. I usually work condemned trees. My raw material are debris. I seek to keep the natural forms as much as I can, to keep the memory of the tree.
Brazilian artist Hugo França approaches each piece as an adventure. Using a large blade, França carefully hand-carves the fallen tree, removing old bark and opening grooves to rediscover curves that highlight its organic form.
Na verdade, a ideia do trabalho...
I would say all my pieces are sculptural furnitures. They eventually have a functionality. This one behind us is a bench, but it provokes different interaction.
The renowned Brazilian sculptor and his team have traveled here to participate in the 3rd annual Vancouver Biennale Open Air Museum, an event that will see more than 30 international artists create installations throughout pockets of the Greater Vancouver area and Squamish.
Para mim é uma honra muito grande.
It's a great honor to be part of the program of the Biennale because it's a great opportunity to show the work we develop in Brazil, back here in Canada with other woods and other environment.
These donated pieces of wood will act as a window into the art world in Squamish, being transformed from this into pieces such as this one, already complete and ready to be enjoyed in downtown Squamish, where the team's work will be displayed for 2 years.
The art installations themselves are all in public places, and they're situated right where people live, work, play, transit. So you actually you'll see the art even if you're not intending to.
It's the first time Squamish has acted as a host community during the Vancouver Biennale, an exhilarating time for local and international artists who see these open-air museums as a way to activate our imagination.
My
idea is to provoke a deep interaction, to give the opportunity of a sensorial experience. People can touch, they can feel, they can smell the piece and have a new relationship with the tree, now horizontally.
Oblivious of the noise, the men use the large, powerful blade of the chainsaw as though it's a small, delicate tool. It's a first for França to sculpt outside of Brazil, though it seems natural to be doing so here in Squamish.
I think Squamish is a beautiful city and it's very interesting to be here because it's a community which has already a deep relation with wood, with trees. So it's very nice to work here and to show what we do, to provoke a new experience, a new relation with the trees.
The finished pieces really are remarkable and they're quite comfortable as well. So be sure to check them out the next time you're driving down Cleveland Avenue in Squamish. If you have an interesting story idea for us or perhaps an event you'd like to share, we'd love to hear from you. Visit us at facebook.com/GoSea2Sky. Later in the show,
a lot of the plants that we're out picking and learning about have a lot of benefits and properties that you can't get out of plants that you buy in the grocery store.
Foraging in the Great BC Wilderness.
The Reebok Spartan Race, a series of obstacle courses that has taken place in more than 60 countries around the world. It's coming this summer to communities in BC and Alberta. For more information on the race and how you can participate, visit them online at SpartanRace.com.
Whether you're pursuing a television career or looking for a new leisure activity, we invite you to join the Shaw TV Volunteer Program. You can gain valuable hands-on experience and acquire skills ranging from camera to floor directing. We're looking for high school or college students or adults who are eager to learn. Shaw TV is currently accepting volunteer applications. Contact us today.
We're there to bring it home. Shaw TV, your local voice.
Welcome back to Go See the Sky, only on Shaw TV. I'm your host, Heather Butts, enjoying the great outdoors at Lost Lake, just outside of Whistler Village. Now, if you like to stay healthy, but you tend to get those sweet tooth cravings, you're not alone. So I teamed up with Adam Hart, author of The Power of Food, to see just how easy it is to make a raw chocolate brownie that can satisfy those sweet tooth cravings, but keep you on track in the healthy eating food department. Everybody wants to indulge in a sweet treat, but the trick is to make it healthy, and Adam Hart, you're going to help us do that today.
Yes, I am.
All right, now Adam, you are the author of The Power of Food. Now that's not your basic cookbook.
No, I guess it's not. Yeah, really for me it's all about increasing our energy without giving up the foods we love to eat, and The Power of Food's all about really creative, fun recipes that are easy to do, easy to use. The kids love them, families love them, so that's what it's all about.
Perfect. Okay, so today we're making a raw brownie?
Yeah, it's actually on page 159 of The Power of Food. Only a few ingredients we're using, so it's really easy, a lot of fun to do.
Okay, let's make it.
Okay, we're starting off with some dates.
Dates.
Yeah, so dates really are, for me, they're a real great energy booster, but don't spike your insulin so quick that you're gonna get that massive crash. So it's really been one of those foods that I've used for many years in my athletic pursuits to give me instant energy.
And that was just about 2 cups?
Yeah, so I put 2 cups in there. Now I'm gonna throw in a little bit of cacao powder.
Not cocoa.
Not cocoa, this is cacao, it's a real living chocolate.
All
So
right.
lots of nutrients, lots of magnesium in there, super high in antioxidants, so really good for any free radical damage that's going on in our cell structure. And I put a 1/4 cup of that in there. Now I'm throwing in 1/2 cup of almond butter.
Organic, is that the best?
This is organic,
Okay.
yeah, for sure.
And
If you
it's
can-
chunky almond butter?
I love to keep mine chunky.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic when you have the almond chunks
Okay.
right there. And then I'm gonna put in just a little bit of water. This is 2 tablespoons of water, just to get it all to blend together nicely.
Great.
There you go.
And then one last creation. Now this is your own creation.
Yes.
What is it?
Yeah, so this is raw energy, and that's a mixture of 5 organic seeds. So hemp seed is the #1, and that's kind of the #1 food that I've been using for about 15 years. I was pre-diabetic when I was 26 years old, and I realized pretty quick that I needed to start to be able to control my blood sugar on a daily basis. And I was a sugar addict. And so instead of doing all the diets like I used to do, that never really led me to having success, I started to add in some really nutrient-rich power foods. #1 is hemp seeds.
Great.
So as soon as I introduced hemp seed into my diet, all of a sudden my blood sugar started to get under control. And I was looking for other plant-based sources of iron and calcium and good essential fatty acids. So that I got from the rest of what I put into raw energy, which is the unhulled sesame, sprouted buckwheat, chia, and flaxseed. So that's what it is. It's all 5 of those seeds together.
All 5 of those seeds together makes it healthy, and we're just gonna blend our brownie here.
Yeah, blend it all up. And adding the raw energy in there, or if you don't have raw energy and you just want hemp seeds on its own, which is the #1 food I would highly recommend, by adding that in there, it also makes this really into a power brownie. It is sweet and it's got a nice flavor to it, but by adding that, it's really decadent, but at the same time, extremely healthy.
Okay.
Okay, we'll turn that on. So now the idea is you want to pat it down into something that will allow it to form into your bars.
Oh, okay.
So I've got here just a little baking tray and a little parchment paper, so that when we do this, after we get it right inside here and pat it all down, we'll be able to pull it right out.
Great. Pull it out. Look at that, a firm dough. Smells delicious.
Yeah.
Smells amazing. So you're just using parchment paper.
Yep, just using parchment paper just to make it easy to pull it out. So I just like to push it down to make sure it gets nice and firm. Essentially, after that's done, you just pop it out. And now you've got your one big brownie bar, but we'll cut it up into brownie pieces. But you get the idea of how this works.
You have instant
brownies.
healthy brownies.
Here, we'll just plate a
That
couple of these.
will energize you for the rest of your day.
Yeah, and these are big. Like I know when you eat a brownie, it's usually a nice sized brownie. These you don't have to eat a whole lot to get, the decadence of it and also get the nutritional power from that. But that's essentially the raw food brownie.
Okay.
Super easy.
Thanks for showing us, Adam.
Yeah, you're very welcome.
Those raw brownies were delicious. I encourage you to give it a try. Well, you won't find dates here in the BC wilderness, but you will find a variety of other edible plants. Foraging is pretty common around these parts. It's remarkable to see what you can find simply by walking along the trails here at Lost Lake. But it is recommended that you go with an experienced forager. And at Needle Lake Lodge, they offer classes. You can head out with their executive chef, Paul Moran, and walk these trails. You'll be surprised at what interesting treats you'll find.
It's great. Sometimes it'll save you the odd trip to the grocery store.
He's the executive chef at Needle Lake Lodge, but once a week, Paul Moran switches his apron for a raincoat, dons a pair of rubber boots, and gathers a group eager to learn about foraging.
The good thing about learning about wild plants is that when you go out mushroom picking, you don't find any mushrooms. There's lots of wild plants to pick, and vice versa.
Heading into the wilderness, you can never be sure of the treasures you'll find, but this experienced forager has a pretty good idea. His class, run through Needle Lake Lodge, will explore more than 20 different edible varieties of plants on this single expedition.
We are going to be looking for some Labrador tea, which is a pretty rare plant. It's quite hard to find. It's very aromatic, and it's a great plant to make tea with. It's a great plant to cook with.
Guiding his group along the water's edge at Lost Lake, that rare Labrador tea is one of his first finds.
I invite everybody to come down here and pick some of the buds that are coming out, and feel free to pick a bunch and take home and steep some in some hot water.
His knowledge has been passed down through many generations, and for this worldly chef, there's nothing better than gathering your own ingredients.
A lot of people hunt, a lot of people fish, and a lot of those people are chefs. I guess it's kind of something that's in our blood, and yeah, it's just something that I enjoy doing on my days off.
Following their instructor through the woods, they hang on every word, and here you must pay close attention because not everything you find is edible.
Even though it's a mushroom, just growing here in the forest, it has the same components as the rocket fuel that NASA uses inside of it. So super toxic as is.
His students listen eagerly and pick what he suggests. Filling their buckets with ingredients, their taste buds are already watering.
The spruce buds, I'm hoping to infuse some vodka with that and make my own gin. Don't tell anybody.
Heading along the 3-kilometer trail, Moran doesn't walk far between stops. He has a sharp eye for edible.
Please feel free to try some of these. They should have a mild bitter almond taste.
Encouraging his guests to try the Saskatoon berry blossoms, foraging is not just for uniqueness and added flavor.
Really, for me, it's a health aspect. A lot of the plants that we're out picking and learning about have a lot of benefits and properties that you can't get out of plants that you buy in the grocery store.
Whether you're seeking that rare ingredient or the added health benefit, Moran says it's the process you should enjoy the most. After all, you are gathering ingredients in the outdoors. Paul Moran's classes run out of Needle Lake Lodge, and they'll be offered every Wednesday until the end of June. And take a pen and paper with you because he even gives a few recipes along the way. Or if you'd like, you can stay for a meal made with ingredients he finds along your tour. Well, that does it for this episode of Go Sea to Sky. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.
The Canadian Radio, Television and Telecommunications Commission, the CRTC, is the public authority that regulates and supervises the broadcasting system in Canada. The CRTC will hold a public hearing beginning on September 8, 2014, in the National Capital Region on the future of television. Join the conversation today. Tell the CRTC how we can make sure your TV system meets your current and future needs. Submit your comments by June 25, 2014. Find out how on the CRTC website at crtc.gc.ca/talktv or contact the CRTC toll-free 1-877-249-CRTC or TTY 1-877-909-CRTC. It's important to make your voice heard on the future of television in Canada.
The Reebok Spartan Race, a series of obstacle courses that has taken place in more than 60 countries around the world. It's coming this summer to communities in BC and Alberta. For more information on the race and how you can participate, visit them online at spartanrace.com.